just welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. So today's webinar is Mortar Your Marketing. So we're going to be talking about how Mortar fits into your marketing plan. So first, a couple housekeeping things. As you can see on the screen, your camera's off, you're muted, but our Q&A and our chat are both live. So we're aiming for this to be about a 30-minute presentation with maybe 10 to 15 minutes at the end if needed to answer any questions. Abby's going to be doing most of the presenting today, which is awesome. So I'll be keeping an eye on that chat or that Q&A throughout the session. This is being recorded, so we will send the recording off to anybody who is registered for the webinar. So if you have to jump off for any reason, or if there's anything in here that is so great that you really want to relive it, you will have that opportunity, and you can also share it with friends, and we encourage you to do so. So I'm Sadie Wuerflein. I'm the community manager at Mortar, and I'm really happy to have Abby Murray, our CEO and co-founder, on with us today. And again, you can't see her video, but I'll shut mine off in just a moment here so that we're going to really just focus on the content anyways. And that content is, like I said, Mortar Your Marketing. What does that mean? So I think today we have a good mix of some people who are really familiar with Mortar and some who might not yet be very familiar with Mortar who are listening in. So for those of you who aren't, in its simplest terms, Mortar is a marketing platform created specifically for the commercial construction and design industry. So we're going to talk today about how this marketing platform fits in with the other marketing efforts that are being put forth by those companies within this industry. And Abby, you're going to know she's going to be talking about the shopping phase and the buying phase, and how Mortar is able to capture our users' attention when they're in that shopping phase, and can help connect them with these companies before they're even really ready to be looking for them. So we're just getting their attention and making that connection earlier. And we're going to talk about why that's important. So basically, we're going to run through how Mortar helps make digital connections before your customers are even ready to be shopping or buying. So with that, Abby, I'll turn my video off.
Okay.
I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thanks. Well, I am Abby Murray. I am CEO and co-founder of Mortar, and I definitely come with a marketing lean. We actually call them gangster leans at our company. So bear with me as I get on my marketing soapbox, but I think that is, for the most part, why all of you are here today. So we'll just go ahead and get started. 85% of the sales process is over before anyone ever speaks to a sales rep. And you may have heard this stat before. If you have, it's a good refresher. If you haven't, it's a really powerful piece of information to know as you are marketing your firm. Because what this means is that the buyer's journey is almost done, is 85% of the way done, completed, before they've even ever pick up the phone to talk to someone on the sales team, before they even message a company, before they send an email inquiring about a product or service. And that's really important to understand as you look at marketing to that shopping audience during that 85% of the process. So much of the time, companies are focusing on that sale. But when you look at the statistic, that's only 15% of the buyer's journey. And so how do you get your firm in front of those eyes before that decision is made? 70% of that journey, that buyer's journey, is done digitally. So now you look at it and say, okay, I have to get my firm, I have to get my products and my services in front of an audience online in order to even be considered during that buying phase. Digital exploration, obviously, in today's world is probably and arguably much higher than this statistic we're showing here, as that digital exploration has become essential and really the only method in which users can find information or shop. And the commercial construction and design industry definitely falls into this. They are not excluded from this statistic, and buyers are digitally exploring for the products and services that you provide in the same way that they do for other industries. And you probably are going, yep, we totally understand digital. We have a digital presence. We have a website. We have social media. We understand that this is the way of the future, again, especially right now. But what we really want to look at today is the fact that the primary audience that you're bringing in through your website and through your social media channels, for the most part, are those people who already know who you are. So how do you get in front of a fresh audience? How do you get in front of those who haven't yet experienced your brand, that don't know of the services that you offer? And that is really where Mortarr comes in. During that shopping phase, putting brands and putting companies in front of a fresh audience and really building that digital pipeline for firms. Enter Mortarr. Give you a quick little background on Mortarr if you haven't yet heard. We actually started as an agency, a branding agency in 2013. And so probably why we have such a marketing lean to us, but we provided a very holistic approach to brands. So we would help them with their website presence and their email campaigns and their logo and all the things. But we also did design services for their physical space so that their brand was experienced similarly online as it was in person, as much of you definitely understand in this world. And it was really in that process that we understood such inefficiencies with the design process and the inaccessibility to contract grade products online, installation photos that inspire our clients, professionals, and that networking opportunity online for the commercial side of things. And in that realization, Mortarr was born. So today we look at Mortarr as a platform that really provides a modern way to design projects, to kick projects off, to collaborate with clients in a digital environment. Users can now find faster. Users could be designers, could be architects, could be developers, could be the end client. Now they're able to find faster on one single platform the products they need for their space, inspiration for the space, professionals for the space, for the project. And companies like yourselves, why you're here today, can now be found easier because there's one single platform feeding you, the audience, this pure audience of eyes that allow you to showcase to them 24/7, 365 days a year. Not for a 3-day show where you hope you get, a good audience and an engaged audience, but all the time. And the platform also allows for modern results. And this is both obviously valuable for the end user, right? Because now you can source, you can specify, you can search, you can message brands, you can message professional servicing firms really easily from a single photo view. But as a company showcasing, you're providing a huge value to that shopper because in their journey, they're realizing how easy it is to work with you because you're providing all of this information at their fingertips. I mean, literally within 3 clicks, you can order a sample of the product displayed in a photo through Material Bank. We have a partnership with Material Bank. Through Material Bank button, within 3 clicks, and have it on your doorstep at 10 a.m. the next day. That's powerful stuff. And that makes you as a firm really attractive during that shopping phase so that you are considered during that buying phase, that 15% of the buyer's journey. 5 million searches per month. And this barely scratches the surface. This is us researching at the sector level, across the sector levels, across pro types within the industry. Over 5 million searches per month on Google for commercial projects, products, and pros that are now showcased on Mortarr. And before Mortarr, there was no place for them to land. This shopper's journey, this digital exploration is happening primarily on Google, right? They're going out and they have a need, they've identified a need, and they're looking for a product or service. They're beginning that research process. And now with Mortarr, we are bringing those eyes to the site so that you as companies can get in front of those eyes, get in front of those searchers while they're looking for a solution. I think it's important to note as well the two different types of users on our site. I've already talked about it a couple times. So you have the showcasers. These are the companies. These are companies like you, firms like you, who want to get in front of those eyes. We call those the ABCDs of the industry: architects, brands, contract and subcontractors, designers, and engineering firms. And then you have the searchers, the end users, people like designers, like developers, other architects looking for a pro network. We have a large student population using our site. They have no brand loyalty yet. You're establishing that for these emerging professionals, another really important audience to get in front of as they become addicted to this technology and get accustomed to that. So those are the two types of audiences that we have on our site: those that are showcasing and those who are actually searching and consuming the content that you as companies are displaying to them. I show you this slide because I want to make sure you understand how quickly our platform has grown, and not because we're all great and because we have an awesome team, which is, those are both true.
I'll pipe in now and say, yeah, that is part of it.
but because, so we went live in May of 2018, 2 years ago, and we will call that first year of go live our glorified beta stage. We were still soft launch. So this active growth has really occurred over the past 12 months. Within 1 year, we have nearly 1,000 companies showcasing over 30,000 commercial project photos, installation photos with all those tags within each photo, which we'll look at a little bit deeper. 4,500 active profiles, over 5,000 weekly users. This just goes to show how quickly that shift to digital is happening and the intense demand that your audience will have and is having, right, for that digital experience. This is such an important thing for all of us in the industry to understand, and all of us in the industry to get in front of, so that we are providing that value to an audience that is demanding that online experience.
And Abby, I just want to pipe in again here to say, I feel like the timing has never been better. I know it's such a strange and interesting time, obviously, that we've been living in for the last 3-4 months here as a world, not even just, you know, in our nation, but as a world. And so there's a major focus on things happening digitally, and that leads to more efficiency. So more efficiency for companies as they're operating now, as some companies are starting to pick up projects again and start working again. If they have been on pause, that's great. But I think a lot of this efficiency of these companies have gained in these last few months when it comes to connecting digitally it's gonna stick, it's gonna stay. And so what a great time to get your brand in front of an even larger digital audience and shift a little bit of focus more to that. And even if you're already doing it, it's just that much more important, and it's gonna remain that much more important now moving forward.
Yep. All very true. This is a little sneak peek behind the companies that are both showcasing and actually using the site. It just gives you an idea of the coverage that we have across all pro types. You see, you know, developers from CBRE, designers and firms, construction companies, in-store designers like from Ralph Lauren. You have a whole range, brands, of course, missed brands and manufacturers, but you have a whole range of users, all of which are your target audience, and really shows how that full ecosystem of the entire commercial industry is brought together. And how do we get that audience? Well, we are a marketing firm at heart. And so because of that, we take on every single marketing channel we possibly can. And we have a significant Google AdWords campaign. We have content marketing available for firms, and where we're showcasing articles and videos and image galleries of featured products and showrooms in a digital way that bring in a new audience. Industry leaders, the president of an association may come on and talk about their journey. And this is all just bringing in new eyes and a fresh audience. Social media, we have an aggressive social media campaign, both paid and organic, that really target certain keywords, that target certain companies, geographic areas, demographic areas. And Google loves this. They want to see an aggregator like this bring in all of this audience to so much content out there from the companies that are showcasing. Email marketing campaigns, we have a database of over 40,000 industry pros that are being dripped on regularly with content from, of course, our companies that are showcasing. Presence at industry trade shows and events, obviously that's not happening in 2020, so we've just amped up our social media efforts and Google AdWords efforts as a way to continue that visibility. And then we have some great affiliations with associations like ASID, IWBI, ILFI, IIDA, to mention a few. And they really also help us connect with that audience. And of course, press and media relationships are always a piece of the marketing puzzle. But you'll see how much effort it takes to bring in an audience and why it's so difficult for you as a firm individually to bring in that audience on your own and on your own website, because it does take a lot. It takes a full team, and many of you don't have that at your fingertips. And if you do, kudos, because it is a big effort. So how does this platform actually work for you? It is way more fun to see the platform live and in action. So Sadie, I'll ask you to hop over the site. I'm just going to go through a couple of these static views so users or the audience has an understanding of how this works. But our site is search-based. So any user that comes to the site, whether it be from a Google search and they land directly in the results, or just come to the site directly because they're looking for ideas or products or pros, they search in, and now your company is found faster for the products or services to this online audience that is searching within their shopping phase, potentially in the buying phase, but your company is in the search results if that search is relevant to the information contained within your profile. Turn tags into connections. This is what we like to say the magic behind our platform are these brand tags and pro tags within the image. When you open an image, all of the images that companies are showcasing are optimized and loaded with information. We call it the information behind the inspiration. And these hotspots allow users to grab more information about the products, grab more information about the pros, and now you're creating a client from a click because you're providing that level of information just really at their fingertips. And it's way more fun to see live. So Sadie, you'll have more fun than I do here. And then profiles. These are company profiles. This is a snapshot of a company profile, a feed of the projects that they're showcasing on the site, and a little information about them. And we like to call this inbound marketing, an inbound marketing strategy for you, because instead of pushing information out to people, you're drawing them in through a multitude of different ways within the site. Maybe they searched on Google and they landed in the search results of Mortarr. You came up, that photo inspired them. They clicked through. That was their intent. They wanted to click through to find more information. And they end up on your profile where now you're providing them all of the information that they've requested instead of you pushing that out to them, which is a lot of those more traditional methods. And all of this information is highly optimized so that you are showing up for those searchers who are shopping. This is the toggle of the other toggle of a profile. This is a brand profile. So this is a digital showroom. Firms, servicing firms like an architectural firm would have a project gallery and showcase their projects. And this just provides a deeper level of information for that user. Again, that inbound tactic, that accordion tactic where they are clicking through to find more information as they go. And you're able to provide that really quickly through these showrooms. Sadie, do you want to jump over to the live site and just show them how this all works in real life?
Yep, I absolutely will.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share my screen here. All right, so here we are. I'm actually right on Mortarr's homepage. So I'm just going to go, if you go back in your mind a couple slides to what Abby was showing you. I'm entering a search, but I can't talk and type at the same time. Anybody else have that problem? So I just typed in a search for hospitality lighting, and then she showed you a static image of this. But to dig in more and show you exactly how it works, you have three options here with your search and how you want to browse your results. So I searched for hospitality lighting. I might just be looking for ideas and I just really want to see pictures. So under the photos, I can click view more. That's going to take us right over to our inspiration page, which is essentially just our photo feed. And I can click through pictures and I can click in to get more information about any of the ones that might stand out to me. Under professionals, Abby had mentioned a couple of the different ways that we categorize the companies that are showcasing on our site. So we put them under the category of professional or brand. Professionals, we consider those who are providing the services. So think of the architects, the designers, engineers, the contractors, subcontractors. They would fit into this category. Brands are your actual product manufacturers. So when I think of my search hospitality lighting, what type of professionals would be showing up here? It could be a variety of things. It could be maybe they're lighting designers. They could be dealers, representatives. That's why the type of companies that I would get in this feed. So if I wanted to browse through those, I could click view more and then of course click into them. And then again, brands is going to take me right to those manufacturers, to their profiles. And then down below, you can see the sector. I included a sector in my search. If I didn't, maybe I wanted to pick one or two from here, I'm able to do that. So just to give you an idea of how that search works. And then from there, I'm actually just going to go to our inspiration page. As I said, this is where all of the content lives. This is where all of the pictures are. So all of the different companies who are showcasing, everything feeds in here. I do have a filter option here, so I can narrow my results down by filtering. I can also, again, enter a specific search right on this page. And then once I find something that inspires me, and I click into the image, this is where all of that, like Abby said, the information behind the inspiration lives. So on the right side, I can see all of some of the details. This particular image was posted by Pella Windows and Doors. I can learn more about the project itself. I don't know if you can hear this, but my dogs both were sleeping all morning. And now that I'm off mute and talking, they're both up. So apologize for that. Real life happening here in my home. Okay, so on the right side, again, under project contributors, this is where Pella has tagged some of the other companies, or so those that would fit in that professional category on Mortarr, who contributed to this project. So I can see that they tagged an architect and even a landscape architect. These are direct links to those profiles. Pella also shares, they also have content on BIM Object. That's one of the strategic partnerships that Mortarr has forged here on our site. Give you a little bit more of an insight into that as I move over here to the hotspots. So these white dots are product tags. So here we're tagging other brands or products that are represented within the image. So on the right side, professionals, and then on the image itself, products. And by clicking onto that white dot, I can see all of the technical information that's linked to this particular tagged product. So here, Pella is giving me a direct link to more information about the product. That's probably going to go to a product page on their website. I can download the specifications for this particular product directly from this image. I can message Pella if I have a question or a request. And then I also, here's where that link is to BIM Object. This takes me to Pella's profile on the BIM Object site, where you can find not only their BIM files, but other technical files and technical resources related to their products as well. So all of this lives within this brand tag, which is so powerful. And then you'll notice, clearly Pella, they're a window company, so we have a product tag on their windows, but you're going to notice, obviously, we have a lot of other tags that are appearing on this image. And so our company subscribers are able to also tag other products that might have been featured within that project if they know what they are. So I can tell that this ceiling solution was provided by Armstrong, and I can go on and learn more even about, the furniture, some of the furnishings that are featured here. So just one of the ways, again, that we're bringing you as much information as possible about that project and how it came together. From here, I'll click right over to, I'm going to click right into Pella's profile and give you just a live look at what Abby had previewed for you. This is how they're able to showcase their little bit more about their company. This is kind of a teaser to the showrooms. You can see their direct contact information here. I can click in. I can browse Pella's showrooms here and get more information by clicking into any one of them. There's going to be a description of the project. There's going to be a collection of images, more of those great tags to get more technical information. And think of this as essentially their case study. So your showroom or your project gallery on Mortarr is just really a place where your digital case studies can live at all times and are always available to our audience.
And all of these images that you see are available to those end users, those searchers, and they can actually save those photos into their design rooms. There's another webinar for that, so we won't get into that. But if they're in that shopping phase and they want to save those images for future reference, they can save those, store them inside their design rooms, collaborate with their client to narrow down decisions, and all of the information that's contained within that photo view is saved and transferred to their design rooms so that they can reference really easily at any given time. And the other thing that you want to keep in mind too, especially as brands, is that tagging feature allows for you to be if you are the brand showcased within that photo, and say a designer comes across this inspiration photo, it doesn't have information contained with it. Maybe they're on Pinterest or Google Images, they find this inspo, the client says, I want a light like that. I want a window like that. What happens today is they go and they try to source those types of products. And now you lose out on that opportunity because your brand isn't tagged within that photo. And that's a huge solve for these brands. And on the servicing side, brand tag or the pro tags provide that connectivity and that credibility to just qualify that network of users. Maybe you're an architect, or you're working with an architect and you're in search of a design firm, and you see a design firm tagged within that photo view of the architect that you already know. Well, now through this digital word of mouth, we call it, now that design firm is recognized and given more credibility because they've worked with someone you know. So that network, that digital network, grows with the tagging features on the site.
Right. And Abby, if you want, I'm kind of done here. If you want to take over the share.
Sure. Yep. Okay. So yeah, way more fun to see it live, isn't it? So one of the big differentiators with Mortarr versus some of your traditional channels is the fact that all of this is measurable. You're increasing your brand awareness, you're boosting your brand's engagement, you're amplifying your online visibility, and that ROI is measured through all of these analytics that you can see within your subscription at Mortarr. And that provides you a level of information much deeper than you would get at a trade show or with foot traffic through your showroom. And also this is available 365 days a year, right? So now you have the opportunity to stay in front of them and get that reporting, which is really powerful and an important thing when it comes to digital efforts and planning your digital strategy. I put this up here, and we've talked about the traditional methods a few times, and I want to make sure that we call out the fact that Mortarr isn't the one and only thing that you should do. Your traditional methods are still really, really important, as are some of the other platforms out there that do similar things. Maybe you're on Architizer, maybe you're already on My Resource Library, maybe you're on all of these social channels and think that's enough. But what Mortarr brings is all of the professionals and brands together on a single digital platform that is 100% focused on the industry, on the commercial industry, no residential. And so it becomes easier for architects, for designers, for professionals, for searchers to find ideas, to find products, and to find other pros to collaborate with. So this is an extension to your digital strategy, not a replacement of your digital strategy. All of these platforms do something a little bit different, and Mortarr is right in the middle, connecting the dots. Our mission is to literally digitally connect the entire commercial construction and design industry. So in doing so, putting you in front of a peer audience.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No. I have a couple of questions. I'm kind of going back and forth between some questions here. So there were a couple requests to actually go back a slide and to just talk again a little bit about the, well, there was one question about how a current subscriber accesses that report, and that is directly through your CSM. So I will just answer that and just say that yes, our premium subscribers, we have two levels of company subscription on Mortarr. We have a basic subscriber and our premium subscription. Those on the premium have access to this report, and that's accessed directly through your dedicated CSM. So I did answer that directly to the person asking, but I thought others on the call might want to know that. And then I was also asked if you could just explain the monthly marketing ROI and the report that was generated. So maybe just take another peek at this. And we do, as far as the frequency of delivering this information, this is something that has been provided at a minimum of, or at a maximum of quarterly, and we're constantly reassessing this and adding to the information that we're sharing with our users or our company subscribers. Abby, do you want to speak to that at all?
Sure. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Right now we're producing this on a quarterly basis, and actually with one of our next release comes out mid-month next month, and the following release, we plan to include a monthly drip that all of our premium subscribers would receive in their inbox. And that's a more automated report that would come out monthly. And it would be a little bit of a dwindled down version of the one that you see here. But that's the frequency right now. And the information contained within this report is really all of the engagement opportunities that any searcher has to engage with your profile, with your photo, with the tags within your photo. And you can see here, it breaks down the information about the different areas in which you're receiving the most views and impressions for the content that you have showcased. So you'll be able to see by sector what searches you're showing up for most often. Maybe you thought that healthcare was your most popular sector, and you get reporting that tells you bars and restaurants are. That's a really good company insight to help you develop a strategy to either beef up your healthcare presence on the site, or maybe you want to refocus your company on the bars and restaurants because that is the most popular. Pro type, you can see the types of professionals that are searching you most often. the types of spaces you're showing up for most. And the CSM will really give you a lot of insight here to help you understand and digest all of the information that's contained within the analytic reporting. But as Sadie said, we're constantly developing and upgrading and enhancing this. So I'm really excited for what's to come here.
Me too. Thank you, Abby, for running back to that.
Sure. Yep. Let's see here. I think we're just about to wrap up, but just really to reiterate the fact that this platform isn't just for architects. This platform isn't just for the education sector. This platform is for all professionals to be able to showcase their work, all brands, all contract grade brands to be able to showcase their products in a visual way to really grab that top of funnel traffic, those shoppers during their shopping phase, so that you are the company that they reach out to and that they remember when they're ready to make a purchasing decision. And it is designed to be all of commercial design and construction all in one place. And so there's room for all of you here, and there's purpose for all of you here to showcase your company.
Great. So we have kind of touched on the questions that have come in. Either you actually, like, you read our minds and organically got to it before I even had a chance to ask you. But I do have one thing I want you to just speak to, since we have a couple minutes left here.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about the media kit opportunities that are available to companies that are showcasing on Mortarr? So you've talked about all of the various ways that Mortarr reaches our audience. And then, of course, there's going to be even more opportunity for those company subscribers if they want to do a little bit more targeting. Can you talk a little bit about the media kit, Abby?
Yeah, good point. Yes, so we have a platform that I think I mentioned earlier is designed to be very inclusive and not exclusive. So the pricing and placement for these companies' opportunity is really to be accessible for all. But there are also firms that want to do more than just have a subscription and a presence on Mortarr. And so we have native advertising built throughout our site, from the photo feeds to search filters and other opportunities with all of our marketing channels to really beef up that brand awareness and that visibility. So we have media kit options available through featured placement on photo feeds, on the pro feed, on maybe you want to show up as a company for a certain filter under healthcare, or a certain filter under a product type like lighting. And so you can be pinned to that feed and be featured for a period of time. And all of that pricing and information we'll make sure to make that available to you after this webinar. But those are all opportunities in addition to the subscription itself. And I will say too that each subscription includes some of those media kit placements, whether it be a forum article that's pushed out to those 40,000 individuals, or it be featured placement within a sector filter. There are some included, but there are always opportunities to buy more. So a la carte options, there are packages that our creative team has put together for you. I'm trying to think what else, but I think that answers, for the most part, the media kit question. Anything to add there, Sadie? I know your team is really involved with that. And the other thing to mention, I guess, would be the CSM, the assigned CSM for premium companies on the site really help package up those different media kit opportunities so that you're leveraging the right audience and targeting the right audience that you want to get in front of to grow your digital strategy over the next 12 months.
Yep, that's exactly. And the only thing I would add is, again, we have 2 levels of company subscription on Mortarr. We have our premium, our paid premium, and then we do have our free basic for some that are, just kind of getting their toes wet and getting started with it. The media kit's available to both. So whether you're, ready for that premium, actively managed on your behalf, or if you're just, again, getting started and trying it, the media kit options are available. So reach out to us, connect with us if you have any interest in learning more. They're completely customizable, and we build to suit like many of our company subscribers do. So with that, I don't have any other questions, but I do, in closing, I just want to make sure to touch on a few things. First, if you haven't yet done so, go out on mortar.com, create a personal profile. That's free, it's private, it's the best way to browse and experience the site. There's some really cool tools built into your personal profile, like our design room feature that we have a whole nother webinar that we do that actually kind of digs into that feature and some of the other features on the site. But go out, do some exploring, create that profile, save some images, and then also follow us on social media if you aren't already. We try to keep that really new and fresh and let you know what's going on Mortar and what cool new features are coming available. So please give us a follow on social. And then just to speak to other webinars. So I've alluded to some other webinars we've done in the past. There's some great ones that we have recorded out there, and then we're continuously adding new webinars. So if you are on this webinar, you are now on our email chain for that. So we'll make sure that you're being updated on any future webinars that are hosted. They're every couple weeks, you're gonna see them, and we cover a variety of topics, some from a company level, like this one, where we're really talking particularly about showcasing your work on Mortar, but then we also like to offer several that are focused on the end user's experience and just kind of those free tools that are available to our audience to take advantage of. So, and then lastly, I would say please connect with us anytime directly as you have questions. You can reach us. You have my email address from booking this webinar. Please feel free to reach out directly to me. If you want to reach out to Abby, her email is a lot easier to spell than mine. It's abby.murray, MURRAY @mortar.com. And then you can also connect with us right on Mortar. So there's an option for you to contact us in our footer. And we also have a live chat right on our site that comes right into our customer service team. We're happy to connect with you any way that we can. We'd love to talk with anybody in more detail about Mortar. So please feel free to do that. Reach out anytime, any way. We're happy to talk. Abby, anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Just really appreciated the time today, and keep that brand top of mind.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, and have a great Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.